this is Abby Adams, and this is my video log 1. So for the first question, describe the interaction you had with the other student. So last Friday night, I invited my Jewish roommate, Isabel, to my weekly Young Life Leadership Night. And Young Life is a Christian organization that builds relationships with high schoolers and middle schoolers in order to introduce them to Christ. So basically, this is just like a big Bible study for the leaders. And the night usually consists of worshiping by singing songs, like reading from the Bible, and breaking up into smaller groups to discuss and learn more. And then after, we're provided dinner and just get to hang out and talk with everyone. And there's usually around 40 to 50 people that come to leadership on Friday nights. So for the second question, describe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors before, during, and after the experience. I was so anxious when we were driving over to the church where the event is held, just because Isabel really had no idea what she was getting into, and I really had no idea like how to preface it or like go about like telling her, because I didn't want her to like feel weird or like feel uncomfortable at all. So I was like, don't worry, like, you just come and hang out, and like it's super great and you'll love it, I know you will. So that's basically what I told her, like trying to convince myself that everything would be okay. Because like when you walk into a room of like 40 people that all know each other and you're like the only outcast, that can be super, super overwhelming. So throughout the experience during the Bible study, I did not pay attention like at all, and I just kept looking over at her and being like, oh gosh, like, I hope she's liking it. Like I can't tell, like does she like it, does she not? Like, and so there's just like this constant battle going on in my head, just because I wanted her to be open about my religion and my culture, especially the Young Life. Like, it's something I'm super involved in, and so I just had this conflict going on in my head, like, oh gosh, like I wonder like what she's thinking of all this right now. So I kept looking over and smiling at her and like nudging her, like, oh, like, you enjoying yourself or whatever it might have been. And so after the experience, when we were all eating dinner, I felt like so much more calm, just because like the night was almost over, and like it was just really cool because all the other leaders were being super welcoming and asking her questions and like sharing stories, and like everyone was laughing together. So I was like super excited. I was like, oh yeah, like this is great, like, you know, everyone's being so great to her. And then one of the leaders has asked, like, oh, so you're a Christian, like, you know, like tell me about that or whatever. And Isabel's like, oh no, I'm not. And I just remember like cringing, being like, oh no, like this is so awkward, like I didn't know what's gonna happen. So, and the leaders are kind of like confused, like, oh, why did you bring her? But like, we're so happy we got to meet you, kind of thing. So I was just like felt super awkward and uncomfortable for a little bit, like during that time. And just the whole entire time, like not being able to know like what she was thinking or feeling, and also like what the other leaders were thinking too. By the end of the night, it all turned out really well, and I was super excited that I got to introduce her to a part of my culture. And so for the third question, what did you learn from this interaction, or what do you still hope to learn? I think the biggest thing I learned was just about being bold, and especially when it comes to like religious topics. It can be super touchy and controversial at times, and so I think when trying new things, you can't really just like dip your toes in. You have to like boldly jump in to get the whole experience. And I learned also it's like super important to share these things in our lives that we really love and that make us who we are with other people, just because it grows the personal relationship and develops it into like a much deeper context. I also learned that I am a super nervous and self-conscious person when it comes to introducing people to new ideas or new ways of thinking. And I think this is really just because I've had a lack of experience with this. I've never really had to like be like, hey, like come with me and go here, and you know, like you have no idea what it is, but it's gonna be great, kind of thing. So I think for the future, I really just want to be bold with my actions, and hopefully for the future interactions, I can be more aware of my nervousness and not have to worry about what other people are thinking or what they're doing. So yeah, thank you.